Hey guys, welcome back to the shop on this cool and rainy day. Boy, have I got something to show you. Behind me is a wall of stuff that I want you to see. This was dropped off by a friend of mine. He had picked it up, came from an estate where the owner had passed away, and the stuff had to be gotten rid of. Well, he thought about me. But yeah, we're out in the garage because there's just nowhere inside to put this stuff. So let's take a look at what's here. Boy, now as you can see, there's some HP goodness. And what all these are signal generators that was made by HP, Hewlett-Packard, back in from the 50s to about the mid 60s. And you can see here on top, these two are rack mounts. They are test oscillators, which is, you know, a signal generator. The thing is, they only go from like 0 to 10 megahertz. All these 9 are 608s. There are 7 608Cs and one 608D, and there's a 608E down here in the bottom. Over on the far left side are 2 more 608s, and you can see they are rack mount, and they are the identical unit as these 9, but those are 608Cs also. They're just in a rack mount cabinet. So the 608 units, they'll go somewhere from around, I think about 5 megahertz, you know, close to 0, up to about 480 megahertz. Now, I haven't had time to take any of these apart or, you know, do any testing on them. They were just dropped off, and I just wanted to do a quick video on them. But most of them are pretty much intact. The 650As here on the top, they're missing all the big tubes. I think there's 7 tubes on each. You know, there's some 6L6 tubes, some 5R4 rectifier tubes that are missing. There's about 7 tubes on each of those that are missing. I can't tell you anything about the other ones because they all have the case on it. I will tell you the one there in the top center, there are 2 knobs, the frequency range and the frequency adjustment knob is missing off of that one. Rest of them has all the knobs on it. And if we look down here at this one, you can see the display window is blank, and it looks like the scroll for the frequency is missing out of that one. Let's move in for a little bit closer shot. So looking at the 2 650s, we'll look at this one here on this side to start with. Whenever you change the fine, you can see the dial does move. It looks like all the controls on this one are functioning. No problem. You got your coarse and then your fine tune. This one, again, all the controls function. You can see that the dial does move, the coarse and the fine. However, the big long tuning capacitor does not move in this one, and what it is, there's a dial string in this thing that has run off track and needs to be put back on. So getting a better look at the 608 controls, we can see we have a power switch, our frequency range switch, our frequency fine, modulation level, output level, coarse and fine. There's a modulation percent meter. We have our frequency meter, and it's in A through E. You can see over here, you can see each band is labeled on the frequency range, like 10 to 21, 21 to 43, so forth, right on up from 215 to 480. Over here on the side we have our output in volts. When you tune the main dial, you can see our scroll inside moving, and you also have graduations here on the frequency adjust knob itself. Here we have it's called an amp trimmer, along with this is RF output attenuation. Here we have a modulation selector. It goes from external modulation, 1000 Hertz, 400 Hertz, pulse, and CW. And here on the bottom right we have in connector, which is the RF out. We have external modulation input and an external pulse input. Now I don't know why, but the three here in the middle are the cleanest looking of the units on the faceplate. Now they're all dirty and got to be cleaned. I'm not sure if these other ones were stored out in a barn. I don't see any rust out anything on them, so they don't look like they've been exposed to moisture. But I did notice that these three are very clean faceplates on them. I want to get into this one and find out why the dial is missing. Maybe it's just fell off and inside of it. Who knows at this time? Who knows if all these things got the tubes in them? We just don't know at this time. We can see the two rack mount units. They're this one is very, very dirty. It's got to be cleaned up a lot. This one is so-so, but it's got a little tag on the top of it. And that tag says checked 129, and I want to say it's 87. Could be 07, but looks more like 87. And you can see it has OK on it. There's a little bit closer view of it. 129, I'm going to say it's 87. It looks more like 87 to me instead of 07. The way that the top of that next to the last character is. On that same unit, it says plant property of U.S. Navy. So looking here at one of the 650A's, identification number, authority ID number, looks like the 4th day of March 1978. That's 1979. That's probably 79 because this one is October 7th of 1979. But there's a control number here, which is probably, you know, look at this tag. This looks almost like a technical college or something may have had this piece. Not sure. You can see our other one here has a label on it called Standard Labs, and there's a serial plate identification. Naval Underwater Systems Center, Newport, Rhode Island. So you know, we don't know anything, like I said, about any of these. They could be empty cabinets. Well, I will tell you, I helped move all these in here, and every one of them was heavy. All but the top two units. They probably weigh about 40 pounds. But these other units, around 70 pounds or so about them. But I am real interested in why this one is missing the display, and I would like to find that out. Well, I was able to get this one slid out of the case without having to move anything around, and sure enough the whole drum is missing. As you can see, the drum should mount on this spindle here and rotates around this. So yeah, that's a shame that it's gone. The mechanism still works, and you can see how Hewlett-Packard built these things. Very interesting looking, and I've seen this a lot with Hewlett-Packard equipment. The equipment is just shielded well. I'm looking at this little amp trimmer, and when you rotate it, well, you can see when you rotate this shaft is threaded and goes into this nut, and there's a pivot, and it moves this other piece back and forth. This is also threaded, and it turns this little shaft as it moves. You can see the filter capacitor, and there's like 4 tubes on that side rail over there. Looking back in the back of it, you can see a bunch of filter capacitors back there. Looks like probably a rectifier tube, maybe 2 different rectifier tubes. There's a bunch of small tubes. Just a glimpse of the right side. We can see some terminal strips. There's another tube base here. There's a it's like a 110 volt light bulb. It's probably used as some type of ballast. And looking at the left side, you can only see there's a shielded box in there. I can't see what looks like a big transformer back there in the back. Well, there we go on that, guys. Some vintage HP goodness. Like I say, I'll probably do a video on restoring one of these. My goal is to restore all of them, get them all working, and find folks that's in need of a signal generator that's got the room for one of these tanks, because I don't need them all. There's just nothing I can do with all these things. They're probably going to be AM modulated. I doubt, this not going to be FM or sideband. They're going to be straight AM modulation. But yeah, I got to figure out what I'm going to do with these, and I can't hang on to them that long because it's just takes up too much room, and I do not like to see old equipment like this go to the landfill. Now at 70 pounds a piece, I will not be shipping these nowhere. If I get some of them working, and maybe some locals that want to come by and get one of them and take it for the price of whatever I got in it repaired, that may be a different story. We'll just have to look and see how it goes. It's just hard to say. I do see a red tag on this one. I haven't even looked at that yet. So let's see what that says. Parts only. Capacitor plates severely misaligned. It's got a hold tag on it though. So yeah, maybe this one will end up being parts. If so, there's a drum for the other one down here, if this one is able to be restored. Like I say, I'll just have to get them, start going through, see what can be repaired. If it's stuff that's really bad, that's unreplaceable, we'll have to use some of these for parts. Yeah, you can't save them all, but you can try your best to save what you can, and that's what I like to do on these. So guys, I'm always trying to make upgrades here in the shop to make things a little more easier to do videos, and to record the videos and format and edit the videos and everything. So I just did an upgrade to this computer here, which I haven't had that long, but I did a video on the upgrade, and we upgraded the power supply and the video card that's in it, and it's running super fast now. It's doing pretty good, although the USBs still cannot handle all the stuff that I'm putting to it at one time. Getting some conflicts. I even went out and bought a powered 7-port USB hub, and it still doesn't quite do exactly what I want. Now don't get me wrong, the computer is great and it'll work fine for even editing videos. Is fine, but you can see we got 2 monitors here, and up there's also 2 monitors connected to it, so there's 4 monitors going to that computer. Now those are not USB driven, so that's not the USB problem. These are running off the video card that's installed. It's got the video display ports, and so that helps pretty good time. Now somebody asked if I was going to go 4K on using the OBS platform, and to answer that question for you, yes. I went out and bought a new Logitech. This is the 4K Pro webcam, and it has a lot more features built into it than the Logitech 920s I've been using. The 920s are good cameras, not bad at all, but this one is 4K. I'm really pleased with the way that works, and I'll show you some more features on this in just a minute. So you know, when this computer come around, I think I give about $700 for it or so when it came out a few months ago, and then I turned around and spent a couple more $100 upgrading it. There's still some more upgrades I'd like to do. I can upgrade the CPU in this also. It's running i5, but I got lucky and I found a friend of mine that was real heavy in the gaming. Now, you know, I got a gaming machine in the house that I use to edit all the videos on it, and I want to say that computer, after all was done, was $2,100, something like that. Yeah, it was kind of expensive, but it's still, it's somewhere between the i5 and the i7, so it's pretty good fast. But last week I built this machine for the shop, and this is running a Asus gaming motherboard. It's 32 gigabytes of RAM. This has a Intel i7 8-core processor. So a Radeon GPU in it. I bought the GPU, the CPU, the RAM, motherboard, and a 700 watt EVGA power supply from my friend, and all I needed was a case, a SSD, and CPU cooler I had to buy for this machine. And got another machine here that is faster than anything I got for under 500 bucks. And I did a video on the build of that too. I'll be uploading those 2 videos sometime over the next week or so, just when I get time. But that machine is super cool. So we can see our new 4K Pro webcam back there in the back that is pointing this way at us. And we have a look here. I got OBS Studio running, and I've only got 1 monitor on this machine, but we can go in here, we can go to configure video, and bring this back up. And one of the features I like about this new camera is that we can control the video, and we can zoom right in on something. So as you can see, we're sitting here looking inside the radio with the 4K camera, See right here on the screen, and we can zoom right on into it, and it has autofocus on it. I've replaced the overhead cam. Remember I had the Microsoft Life Cam up there that the video wasn't that great on it. This is a cheaper Walmart camera. It does okay. Now I do have the handy cam over the main bench that does great. You know, it's a Sony cam, but I think I'm going to replace this one also with a 4K camera, because I'm going to be utilizing this new leaf bench for quite a bit of stuff. I want to add more content to the channel and work on a few other things. Stuff that y'all don't never see is that I do work on computers in here from time to time, laptops, towers and stuff, and I'm going to start adding more of that content to this channel. And you know, my goal is I want to grow this channel, and I'm also looking at a few other platforms out there that I'm going to start uploading videos on. So anyway, you know, I know a lot of y'all like the repair videos of some of the vintage equipment, the ham radio equipment and stuff, but and I enjoy doing that. I enjoy showing y'all guys how I use what knowledge I have to repair this stuff. But I just want to I want to go ahead and grow this channel. And you know, I already appreciate my Patreon supporters, because a lot of this stuff I couldn't do without them. But I want to go ahead and get the retirement process started here very soon, and growing the channel and getting more support out of the community will give me that opportunity to do that and get in here and do more stuff. Alright guys, like I say, I will get one of those HP units in here, and we'll tear it down and get it working back the way it was when it came from the factory. We'll do that together. I've got another video going to be coming out, microscope shootout. It's going to be a video about what you need, you know, if you're doing SMD repair and circuit board inspection. I've got several microscopes now that we can look at. Most of these I've done a review on over the past several years, but maybe it can help you zero down on what you need and what you can get away with. So we'll be looking at that here in the near future. And like I say, the 2 computer builds, we'll be getting those up soon. Alright guys, y'all have a good day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye now.